Hello and welcome, Storm here. We're back with more Harvestella. So for our plans this time, it's to make our way towards the orbital cradle that we were heading towards last time.
I hope you bring back
I
souvenirs.
have a certain point in mind for where I want to get. I'm heading in the wrong direction. This is also reminding me, did I turn in the Canelo? No, I didn't turn in the Canelo. But I do have a certain point in mind for where I want to get to. Whether I will actually be able to get there or not is entirely beyond me. Oh, I guess I don't have any to turn in. Huh. Okay, well. I guess that one didn't go as I planned. But I do want to try and finish the orbital cradle if at all possible. I kind of suspect that I won't actually be able to do that, but that is kind of what I'm setting as a tentative goal right now. We'll find out if I can do it in the end, I guess. But I am kind of excited to go and explore the one place, just simply because it looks so cool. I'll be perfectly honest, my original thought for the name of this episode was, look, no safety railing. But for some reason, I just had this feeling that that would have been a terrible idea for a name in the end. That felt like something that was going to end up maybe getting me in trouble in the end, so I just ended up deciding not to go with it. So we're going to go to the Purgatorium. I had forgotten what it was called, so I hadn't said anything, but I want to know why they chose the name Purgatorium. I honestly do. Okay, so we have something over here. I was figuring that we might have something down on this little ring. Okay, yeah. That's a long drop. This is just making me think of my own fear of heights. And my fear of heights is like really stupid in that the point at which I'm afraid of heights is a really small range. Like, I am the kind of person that gets nervous on ladders and such. But if I were to like look over the edge of the cliff and just be like, oh, that's neat. But no, just like 5 to 15 feet, and for some reason my brain's like, nope, that's too high. You're gonna die. But anything higher than 15 feet, and it's just like, oh, that's neat. And it's one of the... It makes me feel so stupid every time something like that happens. Because it's like, if you're gonna give me a fear of heights, like, make it be a reasonable fear of height and not this stupid, like, 5 to 15 feet thing. Okay, so... The way this is laid out makes no sense to me. Like, I guess the Seth would just, like, make jumps over some of these things. But it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, unfortunately, with how this place is laid out. And I wouldn't say that's like, oh, because this place is still under construction. Because it's pretty clear that this place is pretty darn old from what the Seth have indicated so far. So I doubt this is a, oh, this is just under construction. No, this is very much designed for them to move it. Oh, we got a new Quinella doll. I was actually kind of expecting a fear at the bottom of that elevator. So, A Conelodol is actually arguably a better result. I wonder where the next modus is going to be. It's always interesting to figure out how the modus are laid out in a dungeon. Because sometimes it seems like they'll have 2 or more in the same area, and then other times it's just a very... That's a modus and not a treasure orb like I was thinking it was. Well, there's the other modus. I was just wondering where it's at. So I wonder if this will all be like just a single room dungeon, for lack of a better way to call it. Just, actually, no, I can already tell that's probably not going to be a single room. Actually, it might be. No, there seems like there should still be more here. I honestly have no idea. Ooh, there's a new fear to go pick a fight with. What are you?
Have a chance if we go for it now.
I don't know what it's weak to. Let's... Oh, dear goodness, it's actually doing a fair bit of damage. It's been a while since I've had to worry about you guys dealing damage to me. I have no idea what that spirit actually just did, and I am taking a bunch of damage. Let's go grab these. Did you really inflict magic down on me? That's rude. I'm currently nothing but magic. How dare you inflict magic down on me?
Huh?
Actually, that might be a buff from the fairy. Ooh. You're weak to wave. That is useful information. Also, oh, I'm actually running low enough on food that I should consider going and actually using something a bit stronger for healing. It was doing so good against me, and then I figured out what it was weak to, and now the poor thing's suffering. Oh, just look at the huge chunks of health being taken away. Oh my goodness.
That was a good workout.
Oh, that went from it doing fine to it doing very, very poorly. Well, we got a wise man's root from that. And I'm gonna go back to the fairies.
It's my turn, eh?
Most things seem to be weak to earth here, so we'll go switch to the earth fairy. Oh, and our little quest thing is just right in the middle here. Maybe this really was just a short little thing. Is this the maintenance block? No, this is the... Hello, Geist. What took you so long? Where have you been? I could ask you the same question. I've been in the cradle. I wasn't expecting you to climb up through the inner framework of the space elevator. You should know what happened. Calistepis interfered with the signals. We'll have a hard time overriding them now. So, how far away are we from the maintenance block now? This is roughly the halfway point. Poor Hein. Oh. Now that you're here, allow me to show you around the facility. That will make it easier for you to digest what I have to say next. Is that alright, Dianthus? I suppose so. Even though Calistepis wouldn't approve, we can't keep it a secret forever. Very well, then come with me. Oh, what horrors of reality are you about to inflict upon us this time? Also, this really is just going to be a short place if this is only halfway through the... Whoa. This is much larger than I was thinking it was. Seaslight Factory. This certainly is not at all what I was expecting. Isn't this the Seaslight? What is it doing here? This is its precursor. Proto-seaslight, you could call it. The 4 seaslight that you know are mass-produced models that we built from the original data in this prototype. You mean to say the seaslight are... You've probably figured it out. The seaslight are machines that we built. That's ridiculous. If you're going to lie to us, at least make it a bit more convincing. I mean, you aren't serious. Can't argue with what we see right in front of us, though. I knew it was a good idea to bring you here. You're already starting to understand. The seaslight was built by AI? I don't want to believe it, but does that mean the Red Queen was your... In order to explain that, I will need to outline the whole sequence of events. Should I start from the beginning? Yes. Very well. When Lost Gaia became uninhabitable, humanity entrusted its future to us, artificial intelligence. However, Lost Gaia was already a dead planet, so we began to study its life with the intention of reviving it. The planet's life? That research led us to the Astrum Cell and its analysis. The Astrum Cell, that's what you are studying in the research facility on Lost Gaia, isn't it? Yes, it's the structure in the center of the Red Queen. We theorized that it's where the planet's genes were stored. That theory was right. Well, that theory was on the right track. Gene may not be the right word for it. Rather, the Astrum Cell acted as a blueprint for life on the planet. We call that blueprint the Gaia genome. Gaia genome. So, planets have DNA just like other living things do. Yes. Upon analyzing the Gaia genome, we formulated a plan. That plan was called the Re-Gaia program. We intended to create a clone of Lost Gaia by duplicating the Gaia genome on another planet. What's a clone? It means a copy. With our technology, we could use an organism's genes to create an identical copy of it. The humans wanted to do the same thing, but with a whole planet. That's right. The seaslight was originally a device to turn the planet Re-Gaia into a clone of the Earth. It was a machine built to plant the Earth's seeds into another planet. That seed, the Gaia genome, would then grow into an exact copy of Earth. And I want to say right now, this looks exactly like what I would expect for like a scene for like a tour guide just standing in front of it. Look, it's our giant weird science device at like a science museum. I love the way this scene is currently like framed. So that's why the seaslight looks so much like the Red Queen. Replicating a whole planet? Is that even possible? Well, Arya might be able to answer that. The whole reason I thought I time traveled was because my surroundings resembled Earth so closely. I mean, it did have its peculiarities, like monolith and magic, but everything else, like the climate, conditions, and the environment was the same. So I suspected it might have been a time disaster. But why would you go to all that trouble? It was all part of the plan to create a planet that humans could inhabit. Our orders were to preserve humanity. Since we couldn't use Lost Gaia, we urgently needed a new environment to support human life. If that meant another planet, then so be it. Our plan worked until a certain point. The first and second machines were to cultivate the ocean. Why am I getting tongue-tied all of a sudden? The first and second machines were to cultivate the ocean and the land. Third, maintain favorable conditions for life. Then the fourth kept the ecosystem in order, skipping over evolution. Re-Gaia came to life quickly. It was as if the history of Earth was being replayed in fast forward. Before long, the planet was a Mother Earth nurturing a vast number of lives. We thought that it wouldn't be long before we could get humanity to live there too. I see. It was an act of evolutionary molecular engineering. Then, wait. In that case, This is all going over my head, to be honest. I can't believe the seas light are artificial. But if he says so, I guess that's the history of our planet. If not for that Regaia program, we wouldn't be alive. That's true, but the Regaia program is still in progress. It is? But humans are living on Regaia. It's already habitable, isn't it? You're right, the planet is habitable now. There's one big problem with it. Quietus? Exactly. Quietus was not part of the plan. But it has been one major setback to the Regaia program. At this rate, history will only repeat itself and the planet will come to the same end as Lost Gaia did. So it wasn't the Omens who were causing Quietus? Of course not. Why would we want to destroy something we created with our own hands? What did you mean by Quietus bringing Lost Gaia to an end, though? You know the light particles that float through the air during Quietus? That's Gaia dust. It's the same stuff that covered the planet when Lost Gaia died. If we do nothing to intervene, then Regaia will also turn into a dead star. It'll be reduced to a barren wasteland like you saw on Lost Gaia. Oh no, isn't there anything we can do? There is something. That is why I'm bringing you all to the cradle. What? You found a way to fix Quietus? This is the first time I'm hearing of it. I have made a breakthrough. It is the only way. Now then, that's enough talk. You're still climbing up to the cradle, aren't you? There's a long way to go. I don't entirely know what to think about what's currently going on. Also, this place is so much more massive on the inside than I thought it was. Like, it looked kinda big from outside, but it didn't feel that large. But from like in here, this gives me an entirely like different feel for the scale of this place. Explanations? Oh no. Seas light number 1. Seas light number 1. This model improved upon the low establishment rate of previous models. Loading capacity was increased by 23% compared to previous models by reducing its impact resistance during descent. It will descend south of the planet Pangea Formation. After creating the ocean, it will remain on the seafloor. Operating time is short, but tuning is required at regular intervals. Use life seeds equipped for tuning. Okay, Seas light number 2. Seas light number 2. Its purpose is to form Pangea within the ocean created by Seas light number 1. The process will encourage the astrum cell to form the planet's crust and amplify its mass. Seas light number 3. Site number 3. Tower of Life that optimizes the planet via translation of the established astrum cell. Will emulate the climate of Lost Gaia upon Pangea, thereby creating an environment that is conducive to life. Seasite number 4. Serves as a backup for the other seasite, also responsible for running evolutionary protocols. Will descend in mountainous terrain. Its payload capacity has been improved by 37% more than that of model number 1. And proto-seasite. An early seasite prototype. Construction has been suspended. The plan will now involve implantation of the astrum cells or astrum cell in stages by partitioning the system's functions. Okay, that both made sense at what it was saying and also didn't make any sense to me. I can kind of understand how they were dividing that up and that the different seaside are doing stuff in certain order, but at the same time, it also just doesn't feel like it made any actual sense. And where it told me to head. Oh, there's. Wow, I really missed that elevator over there, didn't I? In my defense, it does kind of blend in with the background. And I just lost the train of thought for the Seas Light. That's not what I wanted to have happen. The only other thing I can really say right now is the thought of a planet having DNA is a very interesting one, and I'm not really 100% certain on what to think about that sort of concept. Like, it's a very interesting concept, but it's also very difficult to like think about. But I can sort of understand where the logic for that might come from, just simply because in very, very generic terms, DNA is just kind of a pre-established structure for how stuff is made, and if you look at rocks, you can kind of see something like that. So I can kind of see a logic behind that, even just in like an actual real world kind of thing. But at the same time, it just doesn't make quite enough sense to me. So that needs repairs. There's this chest over here, so what path? The game surely wouldn't have the actual pathway require me to repair something. Nope, there's a staircase. Okay. So we can repair this, head up here, and then this will probably be the last thing we do at this particular location. Okay, so there's just these fellows over here. Let's
get this over with.
I was honestly kind of expecting the Modus right over there that I could quickly access, but I'm not seeing one from over here. Grab that, open those. We've got enough stamina that I can maybe make it all the way over to there just by expending some stamina and running. Running is something that I could probably afford to do a bit more, especially since I have so much food stockpiled, but I always forget that it's an option until I'm like really pressed for time. Oh, there is a modus here, so that works out well.
Let's get this over
Oh,
with.
thank goodness you guys didn't try to use the stun, otherwise that would have been kind of problematic. Yes, game, I understand that I feel sleepy. Let me fight the robots first. So if we're about halfway through, I'm gonna assume that. Okay, so yeah, this one's called the exit. So I'm gonna just assume that we are pretty much where we need to go for that. Throw all of this into storage and got some stuff for battery and some stuff to sell. And it's. I don't remember these trees glowing like this at night. It looks nice, but I still don't remember them glowing, which is I'm pretty sure they always have, but it also is just like a, did they really? Because if they didn't, that makes me a bit nervous. We're almost to level 80, which is kind of nice. Autumn Chill, day 23. It's odd to think about the fact that it's almost been 2 in-game years. Just simply because I've spent a whole bunch of time going and doing stuff off stream to grow plants and get things gathered and whatnot. Okay, so that's all well and in order. Are the pumpkins ready for harvesting? Nope, pumpkins are not ready for harvesting just yet. There's a bunch of other stuff to grab first.
some
Do you
crops
want to work
begging
on the
to be
farm
harvested.
today?
My goodness, so much stuff to go and harvest. The the farm is a nice thing, but it also does kind of feel like it's getting to be a bit much to manage sometimes,
Morning.
just as like a secondary thing. Ooh, we actually do have some more experience we can put into stuff. Let's see. Reduce magic damage or fairy spell 2. Let's get the fairy spell 2 because that'll get us the increased normal attack in a moment. And grape juice. I'm just gonna store the grape juice for right now, just simply because of the fact that I don't particularly see a need for it with just what we have on hand already. But once we run out of some of the stuff that we already have, we can go grab some of those to consume. But let's run down here real quick. And can I harvest the curry herbs? Nope, the curry still evades me for right now. With all that in order, let's go running off to
I
here.
hope you bring back souvenirs.
It's just occurring to me that why can I not just go straight to the cradle from the little map there? I hadn't thought about that until just now. And I'm going to consume that right now to A, restore some stamina, and B, give me some hunger so I can just go and run. Because I have enough. This is the first time that I've actually just like stopped and looked at this outfit, and it actually looks really neat. I just saw the like little translucent fairy wing, and that's what made me stop and realize I hadn't actually taken a look at what the outfit looked like just yet. Yes, the elevator's ready. Let's go through here already. Oh, I really do hope that it ends up being that I can go through that a bit quicker. Hello you two again. I'm going to avoid you. Onward to the cradle. This is not what I was thinking it was. Are we actually at the maintenance block this time? Yes. We should be able to override Cholestaphus' stop signal from this console. Wait a moment. Does this mean we don't have to get back on that awful scaffolding again? I was enjoying it. There, I have overridden Cholestaphus' stop signal. Although, once we enter the cradle, we're in their territory. Their attacks are only going to get more intense. It's no use standing here worrying about it. Let's get them up to the orbital cradle first. We'll talk later. Sounds like there's sound coming from that terminal. Wow, that sentence sounded a lot stupider after I said it than it did in my mind. There's sound coming. There's a sound. Oh, dear goodness. Oh, this is the. Oh, dear goodness. That just. It's the. They're reusing stuff, and I don't have an issue with them reusing stuff. It's just that ended up causing me a slight bit more confusion than I would like. Oh. This is unnerving. This is the orbital cradle? Arya? It's as I thought. What's wrong, Arya? I expected you would be the first to realize. Arya, what does he mean? It would be cruel to make her speak the words from her own mouth. I will explain. This orbital cradle is a facility made to keep humans in hibernation for a prolonged period. Hibernation? It's a long, deep sleep, like animals do for winter. It reduces cell activity to the bare minimum to slow down telomere deterioration. That way you can preserve the human body in an alive state for prolonged periods of time. I believe they used to call it suspended animation in old books. Indeed. Our method doesn't actually freeze the body, but it applies a similar principle. This is a lot to take in. You created technology that could put humans into hibernation. But, that doesn't add up. You humans made Regaia for us humans to live on, right? And we're living on Regaia now. We're not in hibernation. That's a good point. So who are these people then? You seem to have misunderstood. The people sleeping in these pods are the ones from Earth. Kind are not descendants of Earth. Rather, you're a byproduct of the Regaia project. Who are you calling a byproduct? Your kind are a new subspecies of human that appeared within the ecosystem that the Sea's Light created. A new subspecies of human? So you mean we're not originally from Lost Gaia? Exactly. But even among us, opinions are divided on whether we should treat you as humans or not. After studying your genetic makeup, we found that it was... Oh, dear goodness. I'm not even going to read all those out. Just 99.9 whatever percent identical to that of humans from Lost Gaia. So, although you may be a new subspecies, you are certainly born out of the Earth's astrum cell. Speaking from a biological point of view, that is, we decided to classify you differently due to your separate origins. We called the original humans from Lost Gaia Canes, and you new humans Abels. That's right, I do hear you calling us Abel sometimes. Interesting that you chose Cain and Abel from the Old Testament, Adam and Eve's first children after they were banished from heaven. The orbital cradle is known as the Cain Cradle. Several other facilities like this one exist holding Cains in hibernation. This isn't the only cradle. We intend to wake them up once Regaia was created. So inside these containers there are... Yes, the people from my time are still sleeping in there. My mom, my dad, all of my friends and fellow researchers. Arya's from Lost Gaia, so that means... Seems to have clicked. Arya is a human with different origins from yours. She is a Cain. But as you said, biologically we're almost identical, so it doesn't change anything, does it? It wouldn't if the Regaia program was going to plan, but now that Quietus has brought our plan to a halt, that puts Arya in an extremely delicate position. Because she is the one and only Cain who's in a wakeful state right now. More importantly though, Geist, didn't you say you found a way to resolve Quietus? If you have, then that changes the situation drastically. Now would be a good time to share that with us. That's right. If we find a way to end Quietus for good, then everyone in here can live on Regaia too, right? Yes. there's something I'd like to take. Yeah, there's somewhere I'd like to take you so I can explain that. The results from all the research on Lost Gaia are compiled in a room above us. I'll explain my plan to you there. This room is certainly something, but I want to go check around this room because I have suspicions and I feel like this room would be one of the perfect places to confirm my suspicion. Of course, that means running around amongst a bunch of these. I was hoping to see if I could find like one that looks like it's been opened or something, but I'm not seeing that. So I will just say what the suspicion I was having was. I felt like I still feel like the character we're playing might actually be a person from Lost Gaia as well. Why do I have a bad feeling about how this place is laid out? Locked doors, buttons. Dear goodness. This is gonna be a teleportation puzzle, isn't it? Oh no, I can see an A labeled on the map. This is going to be a teleportation puzzle. Oh, you guys deal slightly more damage than I was expecting. It's always nice when enemies can still do damage even when you're over-leveling them. And so yep, step in the teleporter. And I have no idea where I'm at now. This is going to be interesting to try and figure out where the heck I'm going in this place. I'm going to just pretend that everything is locked and whatnot because of how Steph is doing stuff. But at the same time, I also can't just like put it past the Seth to have just designed this very poorly. Because at the same time, it also feels very much like that's just something they would do. And there's nothing here except for this one chest, it seems like, so we can quickly move on from here. Ori Chalcum. Okay. So that's probably the item we need to go and start upgrading our gear again. Yep, used to fortify weapons. Wait, did I seriously forgot to deposit one of the things of pepper. Oops. Oh well. That's not too big of an issue, luckily. I don't quite fully grasp this layout.
I'll do my best.
Again, I can understand to a certain degree, like, the reason for the Castle of Illusion being laid out so weird. But the Purgatorium in this place, actually, I guess they can be laid out weird because the Seth can just transfer themselves to different bodies. We've already seen that with what Geist has done. So I guess there doesn't have to be as logical of a layout for places as I keep feeling like there should be. So I could rest in this area, but I'm not going to rest. So let's go activate this teleporter. And we've got a button we can press. Oh, hello there, Ajax. You are certainly not along the lines of what I was expecting to find in here. And did I actually just get frozen by the frost element? That could be problematic. Okay, that does go and unlock that door, and if we go running through here. It's just some people to go and fight for now.
Let's
What?
get this over with.
It's probably going to do me slightly... Huh. I can get stunned by these guys. That's an important discovery. Let's go try and get these spells going. I like the Lunamancy stuff, it's just, it takes a very long time for all the different skills to go and be cast, basically. So if it was just a hair faster, I'd pretty much just be using that a whole bunch. And let's just go and consume a bunch of the... Well, this looks like a case of if I want to avoid a fight, I can go through the teleporters. If I don't want to avoid a fight, then I will just simply run through the lasers. But I want to explore right now, so right now we will go and avoid the lasers. And I see you over there. Keep your ranged weapons to yourself. Okay, now I'm over here. Let's see how you deal with me being in close range.
This over with.
Stunning me. That's how you deal with it. Joke's on you though, my attack still got launched first. Okay, so we have the G teleporter here, which... Where's this gonna take us? Not at all where I was thinking it would. That also was not actually the attack I had intended to use against them. There's a button on the other side of that door, so it does me no good to like screw with the laser grid there to try and get around. So still need to go jumping around to try and figure out where the other thing is for that one. Jump over the laser. Oh, I almost didn't see you there.
Here I go.
This Pilgrim might be the best option to have as my attacks for right now. Ooh. Switch on the wall with lots of small holes around it. Press the button. Music plays. Realize the small holes are there for the music to come out of. The slow melody of the music wraps you up in a warm sense of nostalgia, like you've heard it somewhere before. There's a plate near the switch with the word written on it. It must be the name of the song, but the letters are faint and unreadable. After a short while, the music stops. While unintentional, listening to the music helped you relax. Okay, that's not helping with my like suspicions that our character actually is from Lost Gaia as well. I still really do feel like that's going to end up being the case. Now, I'm probably going to get proven wrong in the end, but it still feels... That still is what I feel like is going to end up being the case. And what lies beyond this doorway? Oh. This is the backside of the A teleporter room. Okay. And we've got a button over here to press. Oh, well, that is just another... I was thinking that it was going to be like a really decent shortcut, but no, there's the front room right there. So it would have just taken me longer to get back around anyways. What the heck? You know what? I shouldn't question it. Oh. That looks bad for my health. Let's go enhance the normal attack real quick because we're probably gonna need that in a moment. And yeah. Let's go get that set up in advance. And oh, it's not. Oh nope, never mind.
Now it's my turn.
It's seen me. It wants me dead.
Let's get this over with.
Oh, dear goodness. So what do I have that you are weak against? Right now it just looks like... Oh, I keep wanting to say that's Sage, but I also question if it is. But it's going to be destroyed real quick, so that's all fine. Oh, it did drop something. A philosopher's stone. Somehow I'm not surprised that something like that would be powered by a philosopher's stone. I'm also now questioning how philosopher's stones are made in this game. This definitely looks like a server room to me. What is this room for? This is the library, an automated archive of human knowledge that was compiled by a news company in the Common Era. It's a database of human history, research, culture, customs, all of human knowledge. We use it as an external storage to draw knowledge from. So this is why you omens know so much about us. What did you want to show us in here then? I wanted to go over some history with you before going into my plan. Specifically, the Kane's final history. Hey, something that looks familiar for once. The Paradise Project? Yes, that was the last piece of research that the Kanes conducted. When they realized there was no way of stopping the Red Queen from emitting Gaia dust, they made a plan to live among it. It was called the Paradise Project. The idea was to build a barrier around the city that would prevent the invasion of Gaia dust and create a heaven on earth to live in. You saw abandoned Eden on Lost Gaia. That was a test city for the project. That means they gave up trying to resolve the Gaia dust. They had concluded that any attempt to bring the Gaia dust under control would be a waste of time. How disappointing. In my time we were still fighting hard to rid the world of the Gaia dust's harmful effects. That's just how much things have changed since you left. I would like you, more than anyone, to understand their decision though. Because the leaders of the Paradise Project were Mr. and Mrs. Leventhal. None other than your parents. My mom and dad did that? The Leventhal's accomplished scholars known for their astrum cell research concluded that eliminating Gaia dust was infeasible, and the last 2,000 years have only proven them right. Even we cannot find a solution for the Gaia dust, and we are high-level artificial intelligence. But, hold on, Geist. That's not what you said before. Haven't you found a way to end Quietus? I said I'd made a breakthrough regarding Quietus. I don't recall saying I could end it. The idea of trying to end Quietus has already resulted in a great number of tragedies. Tracing it back, our arrogance is also the root cause of Lost Gaia getting trapped between dimensions. That was a consequence of the Gaia purification scheme we had been carrying out. It's our fault Lost Gaia had a territory shift. But we have to find a fix for Quietus. That's what gives us Seth hope. Hope is a human emotion. Dianthus, you are becoming very human, I feel like. Don't go down that route, Dianthus. I can tell you from experience that so-called hope is some kind of bug. Hope is a monster that feeds on wishes and consumes your thoughts. Don't rear such a destructive monster. My old personality became so obsessed with the impossible task of trying to end Quietus that I went as far as attempting a senseless massacre. Don't you remember the star apoptosis? As long as we cling to this idea of eliminating Quietus, humanity has no future. But I get it. You're a realist. Now will you please tell us your plan? I suggest we reinstate the Paradise Project and preserve Ray Guy's environment with a Quietus barrier. If humans reside within the barrier, then it will mean they can live normally through Quietus. Sounds claustrophobic. It does. By now you must be aware that we have manipulated information on several occasions with you, Abels. imaginary royalty in the Castle of Illusion, the magic of the monolith, and humans accept information without questioning it because you have an imagination. You are designed to supplement the blanks in reality with your imagination. With this ability, it is easy for you to even fabricate fictional beings. That is how the concept of God came to rule over the whole world, by replicating humans' imaginations over and over. This game really likes to take digs at religion, and I'm not certain about how I feel about that. If we use that creativity, then I say ensuring human... I'm getting tongue-tied. If we use that creativity, then I say ensuring humanity's survival by keeping them within an enclosed space is perfectly plausible. For example, we could convince them that there are other humans living outside of paradise. Or, none of this is sitting right with me. You're practically saying to our faces that we're inferior to you. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. That was not my intention. Geist is basically not denying that at all. Geist is just like, you're correct. But I didn't mean to make you sad about it. It is within the nature of intelligent life to perceive situations only as far as they can see. Have you heard of the cosmic egg? The universe is a framework that is perceived subjectively. Before humans recognized the universe as a space, it was made up of only the sky, land, and sea. A chick can only understand what's inside the egg, but as long as it's comfortable in there, the chick won't complain. We could recreate that on Regaia, Heaven's Shell. That is my plan. So those were your true intentions. I might normally brush off such a suggestion, but with time closing in on us now... That's right, the end of this cradle's hibernation period is drawing near. What? Not even hibernation can keep cells alive forever. That is why we don't have much time to deliberate. I'd like to hand a decision over to you, Arya. What decision? I have run a simulation which confirmed that the Heaven's Shell idea could be realistically implemented. But here's the problem. In order to maintain Heaven's Shell, we would need to use all of the energy from the Sea's Light to power the Quietus Barrier. Oh, but you can't do that. Right, what would happen to the world outside of Heaven's Shell? It would inevitably waste away after being cut off from the environmental regulation that the Sea's Light provide. But no, that's awful. That is the least of our worries. The problem is the area we can cover. Even using all 4 Sea's Light, at most we'll be able to maintain a barrier with a 25 rim radius. How big is that? It's only large enough for a certain number of inhabitants. And won't everyone be able to fit inside? That is the problem. I'll answer with the results of my simulation. According to my preliminary calculations, Heaven's Shell could fit at maximum all of the Canes sleeping in the cradle. Or all of the Abels who live on Regaia. One of the two. No. This is an extremely difficult ethical decision. The decision I'd like you to make, Arya, is which species of human we should keep. Our orders are to preserve humanity, so it is ethically impossible for us to eradicate one version of humanity. It would be in violation of the 3 major regulations. We cannot ask the people of Regaia to decide either, as they would surely choose their own kind due to the selfish gene. And even if we wake up the Canes, the same will apply to them too. Although it is not ideal, you have at least lived on Regaia and made several acquaintances in your time there. You are in the best position to say which world is better. It is only you who can make a fair and ethical decision on which version of humanity we should carry into the future. I would like you to decide which one you feel is best for the future of humanity. I implore you, Arya, please decide for the future of humanity and the attainment of heaven. That's messed up, making Arya choose. You only feel that way because you're not facing up to reality only. We Seth have been trying to solve this problem for 2,000 years. Do you really think you'll suddenly be able to find a solution now in the short time we have? This may be asking you to think beyond your intellect, but stop clinging on to the imaginary. Sorry, Omen. Geist is right about this one. They may not be perfect, they lack decision-making skills, but at the end of the day, they are still high-level AI. Their intelligence surpassed ours a long time ago. No matter how hard we try, we won't be able to suggest a better solution than them. The days when we could afford to indulge in dreams and fantasies are over. You are right. Dreams are nothing more than humans' overly optimistic assumptions. What's more, the Paradise Project was your parents' suggestion. If there is anyone who should take responsibility for continuing where they left off, it is you. I suppose you humans would call this kind of coincidence a twist of fate. Arya? How am I supposed to make that choice? We can't. That's such a massive decision. The end of the hibernation period is drawing near, but we do have a little time. Take one day out to think about it. Then come to me with your answer the day after tomorrow. That's a lot to take in. There are two types of human in this world, and only one can enter heaven. And I'm at a loss as to how we're supposed to behave now. No one can answer that, not even the Holy Mother. I mean, the seas light were made by the omens. Where are we meant to go from here? Is there a light out there somewhere? It just now occurred to me that I might be at a point of no return for where I need to be with all of the quests. Oh. Oh, that could be problematic. Heaven's Shell, was it? It was all a bit complicated for me. I couldn't really follow. But I understand that only one could survive, either the Cains or the Abels. It's so overwhelming. Just when we defeated Geist and we thought the world would be peaceful again. It's really me for thinking we kill the bad guy and live happily ever after. That only happens in fairy tales. It's extraordinarily hard to think that the Sea's Light were Omen-made machines all along. And that Heaven's Shell concept. I must admit, their science is on a whole different level. If they say that Heaven's Shell is the only solution, then I think they're probably right. It's a hard decision for Arya, though. I wonder what she'll do. All living creatures have to compete and fight for their right to survive. Just look at me. I only stand here today because of the many lives I sacrificed to get here. If Heaven's Shell were to be made a reality, I'm sure war would ensue. That might have been the war Callistephus warned the omens about. The world will only get worse and worse this way even without villains. Arya's real family is inside the cradle. I couldn't blame her for choosing them, which is why I should kill her if I want to survive. But it's weird. I don't feel like killing her at all. I hope Arya is alright, as I know that pain very well. Pain of losing your family. Oh, Omen. Heaven's shell is humanity's only chance at survival. But it's either you new humans, or us, the original ones. Only one of us can survive. It's almost funny, isn't it? Oh right. Now you all see me as... I'm your enemy. Don't be silly, you're not our enemy. Don't give me those empty niceties. I'm sorry. I'm letting my emotions get the better of me. Probably won't say anything nice in this state. Got too many thoughts going through my head. It feels like there's a dark, heavy spirit sitting deep in my chest. I need to go home. Arya left the party. We may as well call it a day too. Chapter 7, Orbital Cradle complete. Might be a good idea to check on her. So I'm going to... It just occurred to me that is currently doing stuff for Quietus. Or it seems like it's doing stuff for Quietus. Oh no. I can't save right now. Oh, I hit a point of no return that I didn't know about, didn't I? And travel directly to the facilities in outer space by going to the top of the Castle of Illusion in the airship. Well, that's nice that I can do that now. Oh, it's gone. Her pod isn't there. Oh, I thought you were with Arya. Where did her pod go? Oh, is that what you call it? It comes and goes every now and then, so I just assumed it was a meteorite. She ran into the meteorite that was here and left. I tried calling after her, but she didn't hear me. She didn't seem herself. She looked very serious about something. You two are always together, though. I'm surprised she's not with you. There's something we can't tell you yet. I see. I don't know what the exact situation is, but I can see that you are all fighting very hard for something. Whenever you feel lost and you don't know what to do, just remember that spirit you had in the beginning. Because you can't solve tomorrow's problems by only thinking about tomorrow. Think about how you lived in the past, how that led you to now, and where it will take you. There's no point in regretting your past, but know that everything you've experienced until now has a purpose. I think it may benefit both of you to look back over it again. And I can't even teleport back to... Okay. This is... I definitely feel like I hit a point of no return. And I'm just hoping that now I can still go and do the remaining character quests. And I'm just gonna say that since this really feels like a point of no return, I'm probably going to go and try and do all the remaining character quests. I might go and do that as like a recorded video after this, but I'm definitely going to do the character quest before I do anything else, I think. Omen, are you awake? Well, I am now. I apologize for showing up uninvited. Do we have a new problem now? It's not exactly a problem, but... I know. Could you come to the Hidden Canyon when you are ready? There's something I would like to tell you. So we haven't gotten... I still can't save. Oh no. Communication from Abandoned Eden. A message with no sender was sent to the castle. It was addressed to you, Omen. You are free to do with this message as you will. Its contents are as follows. A mysterious noise has been observed at Panthalassa Junction. Investigate it right away. Toodaloo, humans. Oh, that's not an encouraging name for a quest. Oh, dear goodness. There is very much going on right now that I am nervous about. And the inability to save is not helping anything right now. I'll be perfectly honest. It's only making me even more and more nervous. So, and right now it doesn't have like a timer for a day or
Take it
anything,
easy.
so even if I go elsewhere, it's not going to actually, yeah, it's making me go speak with Dianthus. I really have hit a point of no return, haven't I? Oh, I'm going to be so upset if I can't go and do the character side stories. But if it does end up being that we hit a point of no return and I need to do the character side stories, I will go and then I will go take some time to do the character side stories. Well, I will call the stream to an end if that ends up being the case. Do the character side stories in like a record video. Do that, get back to where we're at, and then we'll pick up from there. But I'm not going to end the stream just yet, though. Omen. This place brings back memories. Yeah, it feels like it was just yesterday. This is where we met. It is time I told you what happened that day. I remember you were broken when we met. Yes, we had lost control of the reactor. If you had decided to leave me there, then I most likely would have had my personality replaced, just like Geist. I'm only able to tell you this now because you saved me that day. How did you end up in that state? It was not my intention to conceal this from you, but until that day, I had been acting alongside Geist. You sided with Geist? No, Geist wanted to save this planet. He was trying to eliminate the threat of Quietus. He was probably the strongest of any Seth, probably stronger than any human too. But one day he left, concealing his location. When he came back, he was almost unrecognizable. He'd become obsessive. Looking back now, I suspect he had been to Lost Gaia and back by himself. When he returned, he cut himself off from the collective consciousness and became absorbed in his own thoughts. Before long, he had resolved to destroy the planet. I objected to that. The disagreement ended in him kicking me out of his airship, and that is how I landed here. However, despite all of that, it is true that his end goal was to eliminate Quietus. So those were his true intentions. Yes. What the new Geist is saying is right. Propose giving up on the idea of ending Quietus and living within a safe space instead. Heaven's Shell. It may be the only route we have left. It's sad to hear that coming from him, though. He was the one Seth who made every effort to end Quietus, despite what anyone told him. I feel that that level of will can't be reached through logic alone. But don't look at me like that, Omen. Is it strange to hear that coming from me? No, not at all. You're probably the most human of the Seth that I've met, I would think. I don't know anymore. I am well aware by now that my behavior is abnormal. This is between you and me, but I think I might be malfunctioning the same way Geist did. There's a noise within my logic circuitry which cannot be put into words. A light of sorts. It has been growing ever louder since you defeated me in the Castle of Illusion. I'm sorry, I must have gone too far. No, there are no problems with my hardware. But the pattern in my logic has changed. Frankly speaking, I have high hopes for you. Based on just specs alone, you shouldn't have been able to defeat me. Not to mention how you miraculously defeated Geist, who had the planet's power as backup. The odds were 1 in a million. To be honest, I was too wrapped up in Geist's idea of the proper death, as many of us were. But you told him that innocent people would die that way. You were the one and only person who could say that to his face. I may have kind of carried away there. I like that about you. I will let you in on something. Not even we are perfect, and there is no such thing as a theory without holes, because all events in this world unfold from possibilities. How reality is defined depends on existence probability. Among the many factors that may alter the possibilities, monolith is the most pivotal. Principle that you can use magic from monolith. Probability theory is involved there. I can't tell you the specifics, but all you need to know is that monolith is at the hypocenter of those variations. The truth is, when you fought with Geist, or whenever you fought hard to accomplish something for that matter, the monolith demonstrated abilities that far exceeded its specs, as if in response to your determination. It is almost as though the monolith had a will of its own. So you're saying it's alive? That I do not know. I will let you in on something confidential. Even though it is we who made the monolith, we do not actually understand how it brings about magic. It is likely that the situation will unfold as Geist speculated. But if something about that does not sit right with you, even if it is just a faint feeling... Oh, my controller got disconnected. Oops. Come on, controller, work again. There we go. Then resist what is correct. You humans have a heart. Believe it when it whispers to you. If anyone can do that, it is you. During the Common Era, people once tried to fly, despite harsh criticism from those around them. Their idea was brushed off as an unrealistic... I'm mixing voices up, I just realized that. Oh. The same happened again to the people who tried to defy gravity. I'm going to take a break from trying to do voices and just read, because my brain is confusing all the different voices at the moment. The same happened again to the people who tried to defy gravity, break through the atmosphere, and take off into space. Throughout history, those who changed the world were always wrong according to the common knowledge of the time. Even the first proto-bionet to clamber out of the sea onto land was most likely an anomaly among its kind. Such unattainable fantasies, those ridiculous ideas, they only came to fruition because of your human ability to dream. That's how humanity has written its history. It is unreasonable that you would lose that ability just because we appeared. We are superior only in intellect. So make the decision for yourself. It is not for someone else to choose. You're the only one in the world who can make that decision. As far as I can observe, that is the one function that you human beings have. We've got some interesting parallels going on right now. Geist and Arya, and then Dianthus and
Oh, didn't
me.
think you were coming back.
With Geist and Arya, it's just the cold logic of the situation and no real hope. Whereas Dianthus and my character, there's some hope to be seen and whatnot, and maybe we can change things. What is Arya up to? Her pod still isn't back. I have a feeling Arya already made her decision. A noble despair. That should be the last of the documents for the Paradise Project. Thank you, Jabberwocky. Why do you want to know about it all of a sudden, though? It's complicated, huh? Oh, Arya, wait a sec. There's one more here. Can I see it? It looks like a list of names for a critical experiment. That's... My name's on that list, isn't it? I still honestly expect that my character is from Lost Gaia. That's still everything that my brain is telling me. Oh, a letter. It's Arya's handwriting. Omen, I'm sorry. I know it isn't fair of me to tell you this way, in a letter you can't even reply to, but I couldn't bear to meet face to face. I went to Lost Gaia in the pod. I wanted to know more about the Paradise Project. What Guy said was true. My parents' project was humanity's last attempt to survive. So many researchers sacrificed their lives for the sake of it, my friends included. So that's why, I'm sorry, Omen, but I can't let their sacrifice go to waste. The writing is smudged from here. So I'm going to implement Heaven's Shell. I'm going to the cradle by myself. Don't come after me, please. I'm so grateful for the time you saved me when we'd only just met. You've always fought hard for those around you. But just this once, I'll be the one to take responsibility for people, my people, from Earth. So don't try and stop me. Whatever you do, don't come after me, because we're enemies now. You hear something outside. I'll be perfectly honest, Arya, you are not convincing in the slightest with that letter. Oh look, the airship. Are you sure you want to do this alone? Yes. Arya! This... Why do I have deja vu? Did we already have a similar situation to this? Oh man. Goodbye. Let's go. And off the airship goes. Arya left. Try talking to your friends in the Castle of Illusion. I'm going to see if I can do quests now. Because if I can do quests now, I really want to do that. I'm also really hoping that I can save soon because it has been an uncomfortable... Oh, thank goodness I can save again. It has been a uncomfortably long time since I could save. I'll be perfectly honest about that. And I almost went and accidentally overwrote the old save, which would have just been a different sort of nightmare for me. I'm not going to go harvest anything else.
See you later.
Let us see if we can talk with Unicorn here. Unicorn! So, we'll go see about doing a few character quests here. I am already over the hour mark by a more sizable amount than I thought it was. Okay. A prompt entrance, Omen. So far, we have explored Nemea and Shatola as we tour the locations bound to my memories of the princess. And this forest is quite possibly the most bountiful. It is where I pledged my fealty to the princess as her trusted knight. It is also the place where all of my memories began. Or begin. What do you mean? There are none, Omen. I have nary a moment from before the moment I made that promise to the princess in this forest. As I retraced my memories of her, I was finally able to realize the doubt surrounding the memories of my own life. How was I born? Why did I reside in this forest? I have no recollections at all, and I have never thought to question it until now. Did the omens do that too? If fearfully, that is quite likely. Oh, how portentous of those omens can be. From how far back does the deception truly begin? I am forced to question who I even am. Are my feelings and desires born of the false memories implanted by the omens? Saying my entire existence is also a total work of fiction would not be so heinous an overstatement, would it? But that's not true. If I may speak honestly, I am frightened. If I am to go ahead and request that the omens remove these false memories, then my suffering will surely end. However, how much of me will be left behind without them? When I consider that possibility, it's never too late to erase your memories once you've learned the truth, is it? Who's there? What? How? I didn't know you had a brother. While there is doubt over my memories, I am certain I have no relatives. Speak. Who are you? What name do you go by? Name? I guess Monokeros will do. Very well, Monokeros. Answer me this. Why are you the spitting image of yours truly? It is clear that you, sir, are no horse of a different color. We look the same, but that's pretty much it. I'd say our personalities are totally different, even though we share the same memories. We what? It's like I said, I've got the same memories rattling around in my head as you do in yours. But how could this be? The omens gave you memories too? Yeah, unfortunately. What did you mean when you said the truth? Are you searching for the omen that gave us our memories? Nah, that's pretty much impossible. Then what? I get the impression that you've already spoken to the omen inside the castle. Am I right? They offered to remove my memories too, same as you. Did they now? I reckon my life will be just fine without these memories of her. But before I get rid of them, would you like to know about where and how you were born? What about it? Our memories of the princess may not be real, but I would at least like to know my life had some significance. But how would you find that out? Yeah, no clue. Then what good are you? Well, when I pressed the omen in the castle for more help, they let slip something kinda weird. And that was... Lost Gaia. They said that's where we came from. Lost Gaia? What is that? A town? It's not a town. Also, I almost would have thought Unicorn followed us along that far. It didn't occur to me that Unicorn wasn't following us that entire time. Okay. Pardon? Omen, do you mean to say you know of this lost Gaia? Very interesting. We may be able to find a clue if we travel to abandoned Eden. Fine work, my loyal retainer. Your vast knowledge is second only to my own. Please, take me to Lost Gaia. I want to know the truth. I want to know why I was born. I might finally get some answers if I go there. Sure, I'll take you. I do not remember giving you permission to start making decisions willy-nilly. If you want to learn about where you were born, then you can come with. If not, then you can wait here. Pa? I will go with you. Of course I wish to learn the truth behind my birth. Then it is settled. Omen, I'll leave the when and the where to you two. Call me when you are ready to go. Then you will not mind if I choose? I feel I may require some time to steel myself. Whatever you say. Very well, then I will be in touch. Wait for me until then. The amount of progress I still need to make with Unicorn's story is kind of a bit concerning to me, all things considered. So is Dianthus... Oh no, Dianthus isn't... Wait, no, that's right. I don't need to go to the bridge. I need to go... Oh no, I do have to meet Dianthus on the airship. Oh, please tell me that Dianthus is outside here. Oh, thank goodness they are. I was really concerned. Okay, so... I'm gonna go ahead and actually, since it looks like we can still do character stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and call things to an end, and then I'm going to go take a break
Welcome home!
and take care of some other things, and then I'll probably sit down and record a episode of just doing character stuff. So there'll probably be like with last week where I did several videos of just going and recording, going through character side quests and whatnot. So I'm gonna start transitioning over to the end. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in today. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, depending on when you're watching this. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on the video. If you enjoyed the content I make, please subscribe to the channel. I will try to have another stream on Wednesday, but it might just be a couple days of videos that are pre-recorded going up of just going through character side quests. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. There is so much to process in this, but once again, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate it.